So now we are going to learn about the tissues. Okay. So here there are first tissue is permanent tissue. It is also known as mature tissue. So the cell produced by primary and secondary meristems becomes structurally and functionally specialized and lost the ability to divide. Okay, so this is the permanent tissue. Now in that case, what happens? This is lost the ability to divide. In case of meristematic tissue, they have a ability to divide. Okay, they generally performs a cell division very rapidly, but in the case of permanent tissue, they lost the ability to divide because they fully matured. Okay, so they are structurally and functionally specialized and they are matured too. So they are called permanent cells and constitute the permanent tissue. Now there are two types, simple and complex. So we'll first deal with the simple permanent tissue. So here in this case, you can see that there are three parts: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, and they are very important. So the tissues having all cells similar in structure and function. Okay, so they have a cells. Okay, and this group of cells, they are similar in structure, together with that in functions also. So you can say see that all parenchymatous cells, they are similar and they perform a similar function also in same with collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So first we'll discuss about the parenchyma. So you can see this is the structure of parenchyma in a green color. They have an intercellular space between them. Okay, so when you see this parenchyma, it is the major component within the organ. So in a plant organ, it is the major component when you study the tissues. Then cells are generally isodiametric. They may be spherical, oval, round, polygonal, or elongated. So these are the structure. Okay, structural shape. So it may be a oval, spherical, circular, round, polygonal, and elongated. So you can see there are variation in the shape of the cells. Now their walls are thin and made up of cellulose. So their walls are made up of cellulose, and you all know cellulose are the major component of the plant cells. Okay, and these are nothing but the polysaccharides. So cells are closely packed or have a small intracellular space. Okay, they are closely packed, and between them you can see here it's a intracellular space. So when you see the structure here, it's a xylem, it's a phloem. Now this is the top part, which is cuticle. Now this is epidermis, upper layer. Then palisade mesophyll is present in between them. Okay, and veins are present and stoma are present. Now what are the functions of parenchyma? So sunlight enters through this portion. Okay, so what are the functions of parenchyma? So photosynthesis, it performs a photosynthesis. As you can see, they are green in color. Now they also store the food because they are made up of cellulose. Then the secretions are also there. Some very important plant secretions are there. Now next is collenchyma. So you can see the shape of collenchyma. They have a thickened corners, means they have a thick corner, means a strong corner. Then they inside that they contain a protoplasm, the cell liquid. Then there is some vacuoles which are used for the storage, and there is cell wall, the plant cell wall, which is the toughest cell wall ever. Okay, so you can see this is the these are the type of collenchyma chymatous cell. It occurs in layers below epidermis in dicot plants. Okay, so it occurs layered below epidermis. So you can see this is the epidermis. Below that, these cells are present, which are known as collenchyma. Now it generally occurs in the dicot plants. So what are the examples? For example, beans. It is found as a homogeneous layer or in patches. Its cells have much thickened corners due to deposition of cellulose. Now, as we already discussed here, that its corner are thick. Now, why they are thick? Because there are some deposition of polysaccharide material. For example, cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Now, intercellular spaces are absent, like parenchyma. Here, the spaces are not present. Intercellular spaces are not present. Gaps are not present. They are stick to each other. Now, intercellular spaces are absent. Cells are oval. Now, here also there are various shapes: oval, spherical, or polygonal, and often contain chloroplast. Okay, so if it contains chloroplast, then it performs a sometime photosynthesis. Provide mechanical support to the growing parts such as young stem and petiole of the leaf. As their cell walls are thick, they can provide mechanical support. Now cells having chloroplast assimilate food, means they performs a photosynthesis. Now the last one is sclerenchyma. You can see here they have a primary wall, secondary wall, and lumen. Okay, inside that they have a lumen. So you can see the green, dark green color is a primary wall. That faint green lines are nothing but the secondary wall, and inside this white color is nothing but the lumen. So lumen is lumen also contains a thick cell wall. Okay. So in between this lumen, you can see here some linings are there, which is known as pith. This is for the neat persons. Now it consists of a long, narrow cells with a thick and lignified cell walls. It also have a thick lignified cell walls. Means it contains a lignin instead of cellulose. It contains a lignin having a few or numerous pits. Okay, pits are also present. They are usually dead without protoplast. If protoplast means the cell fluid is not there, okay, if protoplast is not there, then it's a dead. Based on the form, structure, origin and development, sclerenchyma is two type, fibries and sclerites. So we'll see first the fibries one. These are thick wall, elongated and pointed cells generally occurring in group. Okay, now they contain a thick wall, okay, like a collenchyma only, elongated and pointed cells. They have some pointed cells. You can see it's a pencil like shape and generally occurring in a groups. They are present in a groups. Now sclerites, these are spherical. Okay, so one which is a pencil shape, they are known as fibries, and the second which is a spherical shape, it is known as sclerites. So they may be oval or cylindrical, also highly thickened dead cells with a very narrow cavities. Okay, so here also the cell wall is thick, okay, and they have some cavities which is known as lumen. These are found in the fruit walls of a nuts, pulp of fruits like a guava, pear and sapota. So you can see there are some fruits where this type of sclerites are present. For example, it's a pulp of guava, okay, it's a nuts, then some legumes and tea leaves also. So what are the function of this? It provides a mechanical support because they have a thick wall, so they also provide some mechanical support. Now we'll discuss a complex permanent tissue.